All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use random plants in Lumion. Let's say if I wanted to use a handful of different plants scattered throughout my terrain, my entire terrain, I wouldn't have to go and place every individual plant that I would want. I can just come up here to this the landscape option. And then if I were to come here to the grass and make sure it's toggled on, that you can adjust the grass if you would like, but for the random plants, what you do is you come over here to each of these slots. And what you'll do is you'll come and click the edit type, and then a box will come up with all of these different plant options that you can choose. Say I want this chamomile one to be scattered throughout my terrain. Let me zoom in. All right, so the flowers were a little hard to see until I zoomed in a little bit. And if you see that over this portion of grass, they're just all placed randomly. I didn't do that. All I did was pick the flower option, and then I increase the size so they were a little bit larger. And when you increase the size, it increases the size for all of them, but it scatters them pretty well. And then the spread, if I were to increase the spread, then the number within a certain area would decrease. See, now there's only a few that are visible here in this specific area. And then if I were to put it back, now there's more in this visible area. And say I didn't want this size to be the same for all of them, then I can just increase this specific slider and randomize the size of all of the flowers. That way it's not all the same exact object all over the place, then you have a little bit of variety. As you can see, this one in the front grew a little bit bigger, and you see a couple smaller ones. This way it looks a little bit more natural, as opposed to if I were to decrease the random size and have them all be the same size. So now let's say I didn't want to just have only these flowers. I could add as many different objects as I wanted to fill my terrain. Say I wanted to include rocks, then I could just come over here to the next box and click the edit type arrow, and then it'll bring up my box again. And let's say that I want this stone gray 11 rock to be placed all throughout the terrain, and as you can see, it's already started to add some into the terrain. And then if I were to just increase my size, then they'd be a little bit bigger. Now let's say for this rock, if I were to decrease the spread all the way, and say that's still not enough rocks for me, then I can come over to this next box and go to the edit type arrow. And again, it'll bring up my box and say I'll click this. So I'll click the same stone, and then there will be more of it. And so I can decrease the spread again. And now I have all the rocks I could ever need. But let's say now I think that's a little bit much, and I don't want that anymore. So what I'll do is I'll come to this edit type arrow again on this box selection. This way the box will show up again. And to get rid of this and to empty that box selection, I'll just click this X or none, as in this box won't have anything in it. And I can just come back over here and click on the image. and then increase the spread a little bit so that it looks a little bit more natural.